Good evening and welcome to Active Citizens Parliament. My name is Sharon Chuku. Joining me live in the studio, I have with me my co-host in person of Ifoma Oji. Good evening, how are you doing?
Good evening, Sharon. I'm very well. It's weekend.
Yes, it is weekend.
I'm so excited.
I get the excitement.
Yes.
Mr. Ugochukwu Ofuba, how are you doing? Good evening.
Good evening. I'm doing great.
Are you as excited for the weekend as
Very,
we are?
very excited.
All right, we're going straight to the stories that we have for today. First, the Abia State government has announced an increase in the monthly allowance of National Youth Service Corps members serving in the state to a whooping sum of 50,000 naira. It's a move that has sparked applause from some quarters and questions from others. Is it sustainable? Will it inspire other states to follow suit, or is it a political statement ahead of something even bigger? And then, the federal government says it plans to attempt a Guinness World Record for the longest dining table. Officials says it is to promote tourism and unity, but many Nigerians are asking, at a time of economic hardships and threats back to back, is this the right priority? Well, I'll let you answer that in the comment section, but over here in the studio, we'll be analyzing these stories right now, and we're starting first with the federal government planning to attempt a Guinness World Record for the longest dining table. So they plan to have a fusion of music, culture, food, as a way to put Nigeria on the map and also attract tourism. I'm starting with you, Ifoma. What do you think of this attempt? Do you think they're following right after Hilda Bassi, or they want to continue that momentum, or this is actually where we should be at right now?
First of all, it's beautiful that, they thought of ways to unite Nigeria together, the different ethnic groups, and the only thing that they could come up with is a dinner or a round table for everybody. Is beautiful.
To have 2,000 people,
20,000,
no,
2,000 to 3,000 people.
Yes.
It's beautiful to see, but at the same time, what we ask here is always why now, and the timing. For me, it's terrible. And a time where we are bedeviled by insecurity, a time where a lot of people, thousands of people are dying both in the north and in the east, the genocide, the entire, terrorism attack, and the only priority that these people could, think of, or the only thing they could come up with is dinner table. Are we now seeing a situation whereby Hilda Bassi, just like you mentioned, have broken her own Guinness record? Thatcher has broken her own Guinness record. Now the federal government want to break their own Guinness record. I think there should be an award, maybe in Guinness, for the most misplaced priority country. Nigeria should carry that award, because I don't know what is wrong with this government.
Okay,
your country, people are bleeding. There is inflation in the land. There is unemployment in the land. Go to the street and ask every citizen in the street, and when you ask them, what do you think about this new development, they will ask you, is this thing going to add money into my pocket?
I want you to hold that thought, because that's the next question that I want to ask Mr. Ugochukwu. How do you think the longest dining table, if they actually get that, break that Guinness World Record, would affect the average Nigerian?
I don't think it has any economic effect on the average Nigerians. Although it does come with a social effect when the whole internet is buzzing that Nigeria broke a world record. I don't know how to say this without sounding like someone who doesn't love his country.
You're not patriotic.
Exactly. Well, breaking a world record, it's good. It's very, very good. These are part of the things we do in our life. Everything should not just be serious. But I know that for the fact that this is coming from the federal government, the government, a body we expect to tackle real issues. If they have maybe designated it to maybe a group to deal with it,
or partner with.
Exactly. I don't have any, but for the federal government, especially like Ifoma said, now that we are at the crossroads, facing serious issues, we've seen about the Christian genocide, a lot of things. So it's not what we need now. Why don't the federal government, why don't they break records like having the highest employment rate?
Thank you.
Why don't they break records like the fastest growing economy?
Yes.
But then they want a
we are the
table.
fourth economy.
You know, let's also talk about how much it would cost the federal government to achieve such a feat. Now, yes, and they're going to do this with taxpayers' money, I suppose. Of course, if it's the federal government, they're using taxpayers' money. Now, let's also take a look at what they're saying. They say they want to help improve tourism with them breaking the Guinness World Record for longest dining table informer. Do you think that they will be able to achieve that aim?
You're breaking world record when, hey Jesus Christ, like I'm trying to bring my thoughts together to probably give a feedback on this, because this is one of the most useless thing I've heard in this. Go to that comment section, you see what Nigerians are saying. What is wrong with this government, please? Now the funding, the money, the place that this funding is going to come from, just like you mentioned right now, is going to come from taxpayers' money. If this money right now is channeled to employment, more facilities, more infrastructure, won't it better the lives of people living in Nigeria? If this money is channeled to insecurity, curbing or halting insecurity in Nigeria, won't it better the lives of Nigerians? Now, the investors that you want to attract, are they coming to a country that is secure, a country that is not secure? Why are they trying to beautify a table when the roof is leaking? Why? What kind of government do we have?
You know, we should also talk about Ifoma and also Mr. Ugochukwu, right? Let's also take a look at how would be seen globally, because right now everybody knows that Nigeria is a hot spot. All eyes internationally and locally is on Nigeria now. How do you think that people would perceive us as a nation when stories like this starts to trend? Because it hasn't started trending yet. But what if it starts trending? How would they perceive us?
I think the international community will see Nigeria as a country with misplaced priority, because that is what it is. We are now misplacing our priority. Like I said earlier, such activities or engagements, it is not entirely wrong. It's not entirely wrong, but at a time like this, when we have more pressing issues, trying to break a world record, this is the most senseless thing I've seen
I'm
today.
telling you.
This is a problem of misplaced priority. In fact, it's looking like the government, they don't know what to do again.
But what
they can let me give you an advice. Because it will cost you money doing such a thing, rather than doing something that will add no value to the average Nigerian. Let's all impute our account numbers. You can send a token to each and every one.
They said they wanted to do that, and they sent audio. But another thing that you just mentioned now is the fact that it's not a wise move on the part of the government. Now, there's a question that we asked in the afternoon, Ifoma asked in the afternoon. Now, I feel like this is the perfect time to ask this question. With all that is going on, do you think that this is a move from the federal government to distract us from what is going on currently?
I think so. And is a very senseless move. To be honest, is a very senseless move. And let me tell you, this particular move of theirs is not going to hold any water.
Not at all.
It is not going to hold water, because everybody is feeling the heat. Now, there is a certain interview, not really interview, but a lady kind of in a gathering, she was making a statement, and she said that her father is from Igbo and her mom is Muslim. The father is Christian and the mom is Muslim. And that she has been in the north and she has witnessed this genocide attack firsthand. So she was saying the things and you could see pain. She started tearing up in the process of saying, she said she has seen it herself. So it's not like nobody is coming to say that there is nothing like genocidal attack or anything like that. People are seeing all this attack. And why is the government coming up with this nonsense. You cannot break your way out of insecurity. The only thing you can do to work or to curb insecurity is to go to the root cause.
And
what is causing insecurity? Poverty is causing insecurity. I said it in the morning. Communal clashes is causing insecurity. Land dispute is causing insecurity. Go to these communities, find out exactly what is going on, find out which border is having these issues. Make sure that you dissolve everything. That's the only dissolve everything. That is the only way you can fight insecurity. Not this rubbish now.
All right. And I think a lot of Nigerians cannot even agree more to what we are saying today on the show. Let's also take a quick look at, you know, how we think Nigerians are going to perceive this. We've looked at how the global scene is going to perceive what's going on. Let's take a look at how do we think Nigerians are going to perceive this, and do we think that it is ironic, the fact that Nigeria is battling hunger, poverty, living below the poverty line, below $1. A lot of Nigerians living below $1, and they are organizing a Guinness World attempt for the longest dining table to serve 2,000 to 3,000 people. What does that mean to you?
Come to think of it, it is rather amusing. You know, now that you explained it so well, I actually thought about it, considering the fact that the average Nigerian cannot even afford a decent meal, and the record the federal government wants to break is the
longest dining table.
Pour me water.
Calm down. I get the annoyance. Is there something you want to say before I move to format?
God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Format, what do you have to say?
The Gen Zs will tell you, pour me water. Like, pour me water. Like, make it make sense, because it does not make logical sense. To be honest, Nigerians are hungry, but they are not asking you to give them food for a day. They are asking you to give them something that will sustain them. They are asking you to build infrastructure. They are asking you to halt insecurity. They are asking you to build more jobs. That is what Nigerians are asking you. They are not asking you, I mean, the food that you give them in a day, they will just eat the food in a day and everything will go through, you know, the other side. They will definitely pass the food out. But when you show them how to fish, it will be very easy for them to survive in this economy. Come on.
Teaching people how to fish and giving them fish, they are two different things. And I just feel really sad for Nigerians who would perceive this as a slap on their face, where they can barely afford 2 square meals a day, and we have a Guinness World attempt for the longest dining table in the world from one of the poorest nations. It's just really ironic. But still talking about the government, let's talk about one good thing that we've seen in the news today. So the Abia state government has increased the allowance for youth coppers in Abia State from 4,000 naira to 50,000 naira. I think that deserves a round of applause.
Yeah,
This is what we love to hear.
These are the things we need to hear.
So I'm just going to start with you, Mr. Ugochukwu, because I can already see beaming with excitement. So my first question is, with 50,000 naira increase for youth coppers, how significant is this for, you know, the youth?
This is a big boost for the youth, for the people of Abia, and
I want to I'm from Abia State today. I just want to tell you,
I'm moving to Abia State.
So this is a big boost for them, and other states and the federal government even should borrow a leaf from them.
Yes,
because this is it. When things go difficult, your escape should not be breaking a record, Guinness World Record of the longest dining table, but then doing things that will impact positively in the lives of Nigerians. And the government of Abia State have shown us that, you know, even though sustainability can also be a problem, so that's something we have to think about. But then the fact that they thought about it and they've implemented it, it is a very, very good.
It is a very good
start.
It is a very good
and
start.
I really hope that it continues that way.
Honestly.
Exactly.
Now let's also take a look at we are applauding the Abia state government for this. But Ifoma, do you think that this is something that other states would want to emulate? Because imagine I'm a youth corporal now, and I know Abia state is offering me 50,000 naira in addition to my own. I am running and leaving any other state to Abia state. But so do you think other states are going to emulate this or even surpass this amount, 50,000?
Okay, before I answer that, they said the base allowance is 20,000 naira. Additional money is 10,000 naira. Then if you're working in a hospital, that is an additional 20,000. So if you add 77,000 plus 50,000, that is like 120 something thousand or 30 something thousand if I'm to make the calculation. And that for me would definitely go a long way for a lot of core members.
I'll start 2 years.
Yeah. That I mean the price of what's it called, food stuff in the market is extremely, high. This would definitely go a long way. Then as regards the question you asked, I think the thing there is that I don't know if other states, their source of revenue, that is another thing you're going to consider, because they can't just come out and say, okay, we are increasing it because the Abia State's governor said he is increasing to 50,000 naira. They might now want to increase to 70,000 naira. Is the sustainability plan, their revenue generation, can it sustain up to that amount? That is the question we'll ask in the first place. But if the responsibility of their revenue, source of revenue, being up to that amount, then why don't they surpass it in the first place? It is all about making the lives of people living in your community better. And I love the fact that, I mean, he knows that a lot is going on in Nigeria. He knows that youth core members are suffering. So it is equally a way to encourage them, give them morale, boost their morale, and not just that, attract core members to his state, which is very, very beautiful.
That's where I want to start from Mr. Ugochukwu. How would things change in Abia State where we see a troop, like a truckload of coppers choosing to move to Abia State, as opposed to Lagos and Abuja, where we know for the longest has been hot states or hot areas for youth core members? Now, do you think that would translate in any way to Abia State's development? Of
course. You come to think about it, this is a strategic move by the Abia State government, because it brings youth for them, and then we know that Nigerians naturally are productive people. The only problem we have is that the government does not give us the resources we need.
Exactly.
But then when you get to a state like Abia, in Aba, where we have, in fact, productivity itself. You see? So when you bring youths from different parts of Nigeria in it, that is productivity extraordinaire there. So I think it will bring development, both economical development and social development also. People come to meet themselves, and things you turn out well.
Ideas.
Exactly. I think, to be honest, this is not just for the interest of, this is not just a thought or an idea that just came and he was like, okay, let's just make this happen. I think this is really calculated and premeditated from the Abia State governor, and this would in the long run positively influence how things are being done in Abia State. Now let's also compare this with the federal government. We know that the federal government is struggling to increase its allowance to youth corpers to 70,000 naira. Is it 77,000 naira? It's been a struggle. A lot of people are yet to receive their money from the federal government. With the Abia State government, a state government, just one state government, coming out to increase their state allowance to 50,000 naira, or do we see this mounting pressure on the federal government to also sit up as well?
Do they even respond to pressure? When
we are saying that they do from Donald Trump.
Calm down. They are actually reacting to pressure. Is it not the same federal government that said that they want to break Guinness World of Record? Is it pressure? Is it pressure? I thought what we are supposed to be seeing in the news right now is how they are mobilizing a lot of security laws. No, we need to. That's what we need to be seeing more right now.
Yes.
You understand? We need to see that we've gone to this troops have gone to Plateau State and they have arrested and apprehended a lot of bandits in those states. They have moved from that place to Edo State, from that place to Benue State. That's what we want to be hearing right now. Not this. You get, so for me, the federal government does not at all respond to anything called pressure. But let me equally say something, because I didn't really kind of talk about where the caveat lies in this new development. Let it not just be, you know, a flashy headline at the end of the day. We need to see if there is possibility that these people that you're increasing their money, is there livable and enabling environment for them to live in. And not just that, we mentioned the sustainability plan. Will it just be a one-time something, or is it something that they will do, you know, subsequently? Those are the questions that we need to ask.
All right, now those are really key questions: the sustainability, the living environment. And we know just the other day Abia State acquired 60% of EEDC. So yeah, maybe the youth couples are short of 247 electricity in Abia State, which is going to change the whole ball game. But you know, let's talk about the cons a little, or the caveats, as Ifoma also mentioned. You mentioned the sustainability. Now she's mentioning the living conditions. Going forward, with the problem that we have in our Nigerian government, where there is no continuity, how long will the Abia State governor remain in power for this to be assured? How sure are we that after the Abia State governor tenure expires, it would continue to the next government?
Yeah, thank you for asking that. You know, that's the problem we have in Nigeria: continuity and sometimes sustainability. Or when we see government officials or even politicians in power who actually implement good policies, sometimes sustainability is a threat to that policy. And I think it's so here now. From Ifoma's angle, where she talked about a livable environment, that's also true, because when you attract people, there needs to be a conducive environment for them. Unless it will be more like an overpopulation thing. Too much people in a place without the deserved environment there. So, but I don't live in Abia State, but from the headlines, I believe that the government of Abia State, they are working. It's a work in progress. So, and I know, like I said earlier, Nigerians are productive minds. So when they come to, or the people there, we see Aba products, made in Aba products, they are doing so well. So when we bring more productive minds from different parts of the country, I hope, and it should help in boosting the productivity rate from Abia State. And for the continuity and sustainability plan, it all boils down to the Abia State government, and not just this government, but the government to come after His Excellency Alex Oti. So it could be a threat. But then continuing it, it will be a very big thing. And I think, in as much as our government, the federal government, like Ifoma said, they do not respond to pressure, it will be a shame to them that a state government is being able to do so much and they are doing little.
Now, to add to what he just said, I think more caveat to this is we need to see more prompt payments. Let them not be, you know, delayed payments. Let it not just be flashy headlines. And not just that. I think maybe in the constitution there should be more like an avenue or a place whereby they enforce this continuity. Let it be passed as a law. I don't know if
continuity in government.
Yes, in government, exactly. Not this particular payment, because we see cases whereby a new government comes and the projects that the previous administration have already mapped out, because they couldn't complete it because they didn't last the second tenure. You will see the new government doing a complete different thing, thereby abandoning those projects. So I think in the constitution, it should try as much as possible to see if there's a way they can fit in this continuity project.
Yes, where governors can be able to continue projects from their predecessor.
Yeah, quickly, I also want to add something to what Ifoma just said now. You talked about continuity, and one thing that came to my mind is, if if that present administration, be it the state government or the federal government, if they implement these policies on time and they have realistic plans to sustain it, I think by the time another government or administration steps in, it will be easier for them to join the already made footsteps. But one thing that we see in the Nigerian government and Nigerian politics is that governors and presidents, there is something they do. Whenever they see maybe it's coming to the end of their tenure, maybe they want to run for re-election, or even they've occupied 2 terms in office, something they do is that towards the end of their tenure, maybe 3 months or 2 months, they start to commission new projects. It is very, very wrong.
Exactly.
It is wrong completely.
New projects at the end of your tenure.
It is wrong because you don't know the plan and the policies of the next person coming in. So I think it's even a trick for re-election, because when you commission new projects,
you say you want to continue because of those projects. I think that makes perfect sense, Mr. Ugochukwu. Thank you so much, Mr. Ugochukwu, Andy Famoji, for your contributions. These are the issues that we discuss here. The issue of continuity in governance, and in Nigerian government to be precise, and how we can fix and change that. Kudos to the Abia State government for increasing their youth corpus allowance from 4,000 naira to whooping 50,000 naira. We think it's really remarkable, and it's something that other states, even the federal government, can emulate. And also to the record-breaking attempt from none other than the federal government. The question that we're asking is this the right time? Is this the right time, really? Well, we'll leave that for you in the comment section to let us know. What are your thoughts on these 2 stories? Let us know. Let us feel your pulse in the comments. If you're watching for the first time, this is Active Citizens Parliament, and I'm your host, Sharon Enemchukwu. We do this Monday through Fridays every evening right here on Active Citizens. If you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please endeavor to do so, and follow us across all social media at Active Citizens. You can find me on my personal social media handles at Sharon Enemchukwu. And you can find me on Facebook at Orji Sophia, and on Instagram at Misolex. Mr. Ugochukwu.
You can find me on Instagram, X, and Facebook at Ugochukwu Afuba.
All right, till we come your way again next week, do have a great weekend.